Yes, good morning, people. 12th man is back. Another weekend that I find myself talking to lovely people. And some things don't change in football, do they? Arsenal struggle yet again. Awful performance yesterday. Absolutely dreadful, particularly in that second half. But I'm not here to talk about that. Go check out my fan cam on both AFTV and on 12th man if you do want to hear my raw emotions and thoughts after that game yesterday, which was abysmal. And you can get my thoughts there. I'm not here to talk about the Arsenal game. In fact, I might drop in a couple of bits about it. Um, but as you can see from the title, I'm not here to talk about the Arsenal game. I've been called out, people, by none other than Mr. Mark Goldbridge, who is probably the biggest football YouTuber around, to be fair to him. And I'm quite surprised. I think it's pretty poor from Mark Goldbridge here. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to go into some of the reasons why I think he's talking rubbish. I'm going to go into some of the reasons why I believe that he is being very, very hypocritical. And we're going to look back at some of the stuff that he said about Manchester United, Arsenal, and England in the past to prove that what he's talking about is absolute nonsense and waffle. Now, look, Mark is probably not going to respond to this. In fact, Mark is definitely not going to respond to this. And I don't think he'll even watch it, if I'm honest, but it won't stop me giving an opinion as to why I think this is crazy talk from him. Now, I had no idea that Mark Goldbridge called me out until yesterday when my phone started blowing up and everyone was saying, look at what Mark said, look at what Mark said. Now, of course, I thought they meant that he'd done some form of YouTube clip or short or was chatting about me or had mentioned something that I'd said, but it was a tweet. X. Now, I'm not great with my socials, as you can see from my following on YouTube. It doesn't marry up towards my socials because I don't really do social media much, really. I've got Instagram and Facebook and X, but I don't really go on it every day. So I normally get told what's happening on those platforms as opposed to looking myself. YouTube, I quite enjoy listening to podcasts or channels or whatever. I quite enjoy flicking through TikTok now and again, but that's literally really is as far as it goes. And for those that do what I do, sometimes you need a break from it. But my phone was blowing up. Goldbridge has said this about you. Goldbridge has said that. Apparently, it was all over the comment section of AFTV. Oh my God, Mark Goldbridge has called out Dan Potts. Now, look, I've got no disrespect or respect for Mark Goldbridge because I don't know him. I've never spoken to him. He's never spoken to me. I know of him and I know that he knows of me, but he does not know me to talk to me. I do not know him to talk to him. I've never, ever had the pleasure, so to speak, to chat to this gentleman. So I have absolutely no idea what his thoughts are about me. And I have zero thoughts about him. I have to meet people before I judge them. And I'm sure if we had a beer and chatted football, maybe we'd think very differently about each other. He clearly does not agree with my opinions yesterday. Maybe he doesn't agree with my opinions longer than that. Or maybe he's never, ever seen me before. But I think that's probably wrong. Without being too big-headed or sounding too arrogant here, I flick up on quite a lot of people's TikToks naturally through being clipped up by other people on my channel or on AFTV. So he's probably seen my face if he doesn't know my name, even though I know he knows my name, right? So what did he say yesterday? Now, first of all, I will say this rattled me a little bit because I was emotional, because my head was hot. Normally, I don't let things get to me. If I'm honest, you get a hell of a lot of abuse, and trust me, I've had a lot worse than this. But it really got to me because I was angry about the game. Now, this is why I didn't do something instantly last night, because I probably would have said something I regretted, made myself look a fool, and then woke up this morning thinking, what the hell did I do that for? So I slept on it, made sure my head was cool, and I'm calm. But what I want to do is explain why I think what he's going on about here is absolute wrong. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is a disgrace. I'm not somebody to come online and start shouting abuse at people and pointing the finger at them saying, this scumbag said that. I ain't one of those guys. Yeah. So if you're expecting that, I'm sorry to disappoint. Advanced warning, that ain't going to happen with me. I'm a cool, chilled out dude. I've never, ever really been screaming in someone's face. The only time I get irate in front of a camera, of course, is when my football team lose and I get annoyed about it, right? Even then, I try if I can to remain a bit calm, even though I kind of nearly lost my head yesterday with Robbie and co. But Let's take a look at what he said about me. Let's share some of the stuff that's been happening, because some people won't know, some people haven't seen it, some people might be watching now thinking, what the hell's going on? Why is Dan annoyed? Look, I think annoyed is probably the wrong word. I think maybe I'm laughing in a kind of, what's the word? Back-ended compliment is, I suppose, similar analogy of how I feel right now. I'm kind of laughing inside at how crazy this is. But let's talk about what this is and what it means, because this was what was tweeted. I'll share the screen. I'll share it all, because otherwise, if I just read it out, people will say, you're just reading and making it up. No, I'm not. I'm not making it up. This is what Goldbridge decided to tweet out yesterday. So here we go. Just seen an Arsenal fan say that Arteta needs to win against PSG or leave. Laugh out loud. Steady, definitive improvement year on year. Top targets coming in this summer. Yeah, tear it all down because some impatient prat wants to go and replace him with Simeone. Now, there's so much wrong in this paragraph, Mark. This is the problem. I get frustrated, if I'm honest, when I see stuff like this, because when I look at what's happening in this YouTube space, everybody kind of knows who each other is. So the first thing that's wrong with this is, and I'm not saying that he should know who I am, but I know that he does know who I am. And the reason I know that he knows who I am is because the fan cam that he's watched, which he's literally just put this tweet out about, has my name on it. I'm quite regular on AFTV. So why not just call me out, Mark? Why not just say, I've just seen Dan Potts on AFTV say the following. He doesn't want to do that, which comes across particularly rude, but I'm not really caring about that so much. I just think it's very clever the way that he's done it. He's trying to come across as like, look at me. There's a pathetic Arsenal fan on the screen, squatting me away like a fly. Get this man away. Well, you don't have to watch me, Mark, do you? Yeah? You don't have to watch me, Mark. I've just seen an Arsenal fan say that Arteta needs to win against PSG or leave. We'll come back to that very, very soon. Now, I know he's done this with other people. It's not just with Arsenal fans. And I appreciate that. I'm not saying he has to agree with my opinion. I'm just going to call out the reasons as to why this is a bit crazy. Okay? He's done the same with Big Steve before. Yeah, he knows who Big Steve is. I've just seen a Man City fan. Everyone knows Big Steve. He's probably one of the GOATs along with LB in the Man City fan base sort of on YouTube, right? Oh, I've just seen a Man City fan. Well, you've been DMing Steve to ask him to come on to previews, Mark. Just say his name. You know his name. Pathetic. Why do you do this? Just explain you don't agree with what Terry Flewers, Robbie Lyle, Dan Potts, Lee Judges have said. We all know each other. We're all in the same space. Come on, man. Anyway, then he starts to explain why he believes that Arteta, sacking Arteta was crazy. Now, I will say, I would sack him if he does not win the Champions League. If he wins it, he's got us across the line, which has been my question mark the whole time. Can he deliver? If he can't, there's the door. If you can, brilliant, you've done it. Let's go. It's quite simple. It's black and white for me. Top targets coming in the summer. How does he know that? How does he know that Arsenal are getting top targets in the summer? He does not know that, does he? So why is he assuming that Arsenal's top targets are coming in the summer? Talk to us, Mark. Tell us who they are. Is it Isak? Is it Gyökeres? Is it Zubamendi? Is it Williams? Is it Alex Baena? Is it Eze? Who are they? The top targets. How does he know the top targets are? I don't know. Does anyone else know? Or has he got that off the Athletic, or David Ornstein's told him that Arsenal are getting XYZ? Absolute waffle. Then let's keep reading, because it's crazy. So he says that it's crazy for me to say that he needs to leave if he doesn't beat PSG. He's seen definitive improvement year on year. Well, this year hasn't been an improvement, so he's lying there. He's told us that top targets are coming this summer. No idea how he knows that, but apparently they are. And he says, this is the bit that really does make me laugh. Yeah, tear it all down because some impatient prat wants to go and replace him with Simeone. Now, there's two things there which I want to talk about, right, with this tweet. Two things. This is poor from Goldbridge, right? This is poor. And I'll tell you why it's poor from him, right? Do me a favour, people. Hit the like button and subscribe, please. Yeah, we've nearly got 1,000 in here already. That's absolutely mad. Please hit the like and subscribe if you're with me here and you understand what's going on, because I think this is an absolute stinker from Goldbridge. But if you believe that Goldbridge is right here, then please still hit the like and subscribe. It would be great. Thank you very much. So, this is quite mental. So he's called me an impatient prat. Now, again, Mark knows who I am. It's not because I'm one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. I'm nowhere near his level. I would say that I'm fairly small still in the game. However, to call me a someone or some, I think he called me. What did it say there? Some. To call me some impatient prat wanting to go and replace him with Simeone. Now, in my fan cam, if you go and watch it, right? Oh, I didn't fucking mention Diego Simeone. So now he's done himself. Now I know he knows who I am, because I have mentioned before Diego Simeone as one of the potential candidates to replace Mikel Arteta if he was to leave. So now I know that he knows who I am. Well, one, it's in the video because it says Dan Potts rant, yeah? And two, he's heard me before mentioning Diego Simeone, otherwise why would he bring this up? Unless, of course, he's now generalising and he's trying to be clever, yeah? So, come on, man. The guy is crazy. The guy is crazy, right? Impatient prat, right? Impatient prat. Wow, Mark. Wow. Just wow. Because what's funny about that, to me, is he's basically making out as if Arsenal are this club that have gone and won trophy after trophy after trophy after trophy in the last 2 years. I'm stunned that he's calling me an impatient prat. One, he doesn't know me. And two, how can you call Arsenal fans impatient? Let me just make it clear for you, Goldbridge. 21 years without a Premier League title. Over 30 without any form of European trophy. Over 30 without a league or Carabao Cup. And 5 years without an FA Cup now. Stop being impatient. Stop being impatient. Now, if he was talking to Manchester City, I could probably understand it. In fact, if he was talking now to Liverpool, I would say exactly the same. Don't be impatient. You've won a Champions League in the last 5 years, a Premier League, in fact, 2. Manchester City in the last decade, how many trophies have they won? Hell, Chelsea in the last 2 decades, I think, are more successful than anybody. I would understand calling those fans impatient. But my God, calling me impatient as an Arsenal fan. Me, impatient. Are you mad? Oh, just have some patience. Trust the process. Trust the process. Unbelievable, this guy. Impatient. Wow. Goldbridge. Impatient prat. So I don't know why he's decided to come for me personally and decide to say that I am now some impatient prat who wants Simeone. Now, Simeone, to be fair, in the last 3 years, hasn't really been that successful with Atletico Madrid and probably does need to move on. The reason I would take a manager of that ilk in a heartbeat over our one is because he's got a CV that leaves our manager currently dead in the water. Simeone has won La Liga. He has won the Europa League. He has gone and won Super Cups. He has gone to, let's be real, alongside Andrea Berta to being successful. So why on earth would I want to accept mediocrity by coming second and winning nothing? Now, of course, we can still win the Champions League, and I hope that we do. We have to now. Otherwise, our season's been a disaster. Particularly if we don't come second, like everyone says is actually the best place to come after first, which some people say it doesn't matter. Obviously, aesthetically, it looks so much better when you come second, right? But actually, does it matter? Because when you come second, third, fourth, and now fifth, you still get the same thing, which is trophyless and Champions League football next year. No one remembers where you come. When Chelsea won in 2012, the Champions League, they come 8th in the league. But no one remembers that. They just remember they won the Champions League that year. Liverpool come 5th when they won it in 2005, I believe. No one cared. When we last won a cup double, as in the domestic cup double in 94, 93, 94, we come 12th that year. But it doesn't say that in the history books. It says we won 2 trophies. It's about that for me. Hit the likes, people, and hit subscribe, because now it's going to get interesting. I do not understand why he's done this. Because if you actually search back to the stuff that Goldbridge has been talking about Manchester United and standards, it really does make me laugh. Because I have this thing now where I don't accept mediocrity. When I lose, I'm not happy. I don't go, well, let's take him part that counts. This ain't a sports day with your nephew who's just got a bronze and you're trying to clap him in the sack race. This is elite sport that we're talking about. Yeah? So standards, which is what Goldbridge talks about, actually do matter. And he goes on about it quite a lot. But when it's Arsenal and it's me, he calls me some impatient prat who wants Simeone. Let me give you some evidence and understanding of what I'm talking about here, because this was a tweet that he put out quite some time ago about standards. In fact, it was back in 2022. Celebrating anything other than first place is celebrating nothing. It's a standards thing. But each to their own. Which one is it, Mark? You hypocrite, you. Which one is it? Celebrating anything other than first place is celebrating nothing. It's a standards thing, but each to their own. Who's the prat now, Goldbridge? Who's the prat now? My goodness. I can't believe that this has come. Surely that's not come from Mark Goldbridge, but as you can see, it's his account. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, this was something that was called out by someone, and he replied that. It's a standards thing. Each to their own. Well, you've just been mudded within one tweet, bro. So don't come out and start asking me why I want Arteta out if he doesn't win anything for the 5th year running and calling me an impatient prat when you're saying that it's standards. It's standards. Wow. Let's divulge more, shall we? Because there's more. So when I start looking at what matters when it comes to standards, so to speak, I find it quite unbelievable. Let me get the right page, because there's a lot here, people. I want to get it right, you know. Here we go. Here we go. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has just come second. And him and Paul Ince are talking about it being men against babies. United must sack Solskjaer. Ole can have no excuses. And that's come from Paul Ince and Goldbridge. Now, why? Why would you sack him? Why? What are you sacking him for? Trust the process, man. Trust the process, Mark. There's a long way for Manchester United to go. Don't be sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for coming second. It's not about standards. It's about being patient. So stop being an impatient prat and wanting another manager. Keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, no, you weren't saying that, were you? You said sack him because he ain't won what you need to, and he's failed, which was the right thing to do, by the way. Yeah? So there we go. Let's keep going, shall we? Because this one is unbelievable. Mark Goldbridge, I'm not going to play this all just in case there's any form of copyright. I still don't really know how the hell this copyright stuff works, if I'm honest. So let's just flip through Twitter and see what he's saying about our manager. I think Mikel Arteta will get the sack. He's trying to get yellow cards, free kicks, and that's the margin they're going for. Can we get people sent off? They're such a hard watch. They've become boring. Now, if you actually play the video, which I'm not going to do, he actually does say that he thinks Mikel Arteta will end up getting sacked. What is this guy on about? 1 minute, he's saying that I'm an impatient prat. Next minute, he says, oh, they become hard and boring to watch. I think he'll probably get the sack. Which one is it then, Goldbridge? Which one is it? The guy is literally all over the place. Like, real talk, he's absolutely all over the place. I do not understand what this guy is on. It's becoming quite crazy, if I'm honest now. He's making no sense. He doesn't seem to have an understanding of what he wants or what he believes is true or false, what he believes is right or wrong. He seems to be a massive fan of Arteta, because why would you tweet this out about me after getting frustrated by my fan cam to then put a whole paragraph about me, calling me some impatient prat? Tear it all down. What a muppet. Some impatient prat. Absolute fool. What is going on? Seriously, all over the place, this guy. Let's keep going, shall we? Let's keep going. He's very clever. We all know what he's doing. He's very, very clever. Okay. So, the next one that we've got. Shall we move to England? Let's move to England under Gareth Southgate, shall we? Because I have to say, I was not a fan of Gareth Southgate for very similar reasons to how Mikel Arteta is at Arsenal. Done a good job taking England from one place to another, getting them to semi-finals and finals. But could he get us across the line? I didn't think he could. We were proven that he couldn't. He's now left, and Thomas Tuchel has come in to do the exact thing, which is try and take England across the line in a major tournament. Simple. Okay? So now, what happens here? Okay, where are we? Let's take a look at the next one. Trying to get, there's quite a lot here, people, so I'm trying to get the right stuff here. Let's move to England very quickly, because there's only a couple on that. Yeah, okay, it's the first two here. Right. Let's call this how it is, shall we? Here we go. Boom. We move on to Southgate. Now, surely he sees, like I should apparently see, according to him, that we've seen a lot of steady progress with England. And we've gone from Roy Hodgson's days of losing to Iceland to getting to a semi-final and 2 finals under Gareth Southgate. Sacking him would be madness, right? Not according to Goldbridge. He's flip-flopping again. There's no consistency. His head's all over the place. If Southgate's going to go to a back 5 and Trippier at right back when he was one of the best attacking right backs in the world in Trent, I'd sack him tonight, to be honest. Why? We've seen steady progress, which is what it's about. We're trusting the process. We're now finally in finals and semi-finals, very similarly to how Arteta picked up the mess that he had, took it to semi-finals, finals, won an FA Cup, and now to a title race. What we getting rid of him for? How dare you say sack him? How dare you say sack Southgate? Remain consistent, man. Remain consistent. Crazy. Anyway, that's that one. There's more. In fact, there's another one which says, I'm not even going to put it up on the screen. Sack him now. I'm live. Sack him now. England, Slovakia, Southgate. Why? What do you want to sack him for, Mark? Why do you want to sack him? Crazy. Absolute crazy for me. Why would you want to sack him? You've just been saying how great he's doing, and it's mad for me to be an impatient prat. Crazy. Crazy. Anyway, let's continue going, shall we? Because this is mad. Ten Hag. We all know, and through social media and through YouTube clips, we've seen the kind of twos and fro's with Goldbridge and Ten Hag and Man United fans, and how he used to have kind of fights with them online, and, you know, Twitter trolls used to come for him, and he used to go back at them, and we've seen it over the years, right, with Ten Hag. What's crazy is Ten Hag has gone for not being amazing, if I'm honest. But apparently, when you do a comparison with Theo Baker, you'd rather have Ten Hag than Arteta. So why on earth would you rather have Ten Hag than Arteta? Because Arteta just got to be a bit patient. That's all you got to be. A little bit patient. I'm not going to play this, but let's wind it back.
Okay, next up. Now, this is going to be a spicy one because
Okay, so here we go. Where are we? That's the question. Mikel Arteta is a better manager than Ten Hag. Theo says true as the Arsenal fan. False. Mark Goldbridge says false, people. False. What? What are you talking about? Arteta's the guy, man. Arteta is the guy. Arteta is the guy. So what are you talking about, Goldbridge? What are you talking about now? So all of this stuff you said about me yesterday, it's crazy now, right? Because you've just said Ten Hag's a better manager than him, and he was sacked. So by those standards, Arteta should have been gone ages ago then, because he won 2 trophies and got sacked. But it's not about trophies. It's about how much you progress through the league. No, it's not. It's about being competitive in the league and winning trophies. Coming second is not an actual mad thing to be if you're winning trophies alongside it. Unfortunately, yeah, it doesn't look too good. Talking rubbish again. Then we come to the Ten Hag situation when he was about to be sacked, or when people wanted him sacked. People were saying, he's got to go now. He has to. He absolutely has to. Well, Goldbridge doesn't think he should have been sacked. And what he's done is, you guessed it, he's compared him to our manager that he thinks I should be patient about. Oh, it's even better, people. It gets even better. Look at this. Arteta's had season 1, 8th in an FA Cup. Season 2, 8th. Season 3, 5th. Season 4, 2nd. But Ten Hag in only 2 years has come 3rd and won a League Cup. And he's got a Ten Hag out on season 2. Dreadful. Make it make sense. Look, this is just madness for me now. It's getting crazy. It's getting absolutely crazy. There's so much that I don't understand about where his head's at. So he's calling me impatient, but he's basically tweeting about, look how long it's taken Arteta. But be patient, because when you're grey and old one day and you're in phase 47, you might be a happy bunny. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. Again, we know who he's talking about in these sort of tweets, but he never puts their names for some reason. Very bizarre. Why not just call them out? Like I'm doing now. Just say their names. Everyone knows these people, man. Like, we watch YouTube every day. The people watching now will know half these people that he's trying to wind up and rattle and talk about. Just explain who it is. Just go for it. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. So look, I didn't want to have to do this. But when people call me out and I think it's wrong and like out of the blue and starts calling me names like an impatient prat. I mean, who is he to call me an impatient prat? It's mad. It's mad. Honestly, absolutely crazy. So let's continue. This is absolutely brilliant, this as well. This is another one that I found. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this, guys. Here we go. This one. Again, standards. Mediocrity. Judging by some responses on social media to that United result, some of us must have watched a different game where Spurs' B team dominated us at Old Trafford. Ineos need to stamp out this individualistic manipulation to lower standards by celebrating mediocrity to con fans. Celebrating mediocrity. What, like coming second and winning nothing in 5 years? Like, real talk is all over the place here. 1 minute he's telling me to be impatient. Some impatient prat wants Simeone. Ha ha ha. If Arteta was to leave, ha 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 ha. And the next minute he's saying don't celebrate mediocrity. You can't celebrate anything but first. So which one is it, Mark? You're confusing yourself, my friend. Confusing yourself. Dear me. Crazy. Okay. What's the last couple here? Oh, there is only one more, which is actually quite a funny one. I'll play it anyway. It's not really kind of celebrated to each one, but I kind of believe that he does have a bit of a love affair with some of the Arsenal fans and some of Mikel Arteta's work he's done. Maybe he wants Mikel Arteta to stay at Arsenal because he's quite happy with us not winning anything. That's what I think. There we go. Let's take a look, shall we, at the last bit. Where is it? Arteta or Emery? Now, I won't play it. They asked him, who does he want as next Manchester United manager if they were to be sacked? Arteta or Emery? Surely he'll pick Arteta. because he's been impressed by the process. It's about patience. It's about trusting the process. It's about rebuilding. It's about competing for a title in the Premier League. He's going to pick Arteta. Wrong. He decides to go with Emery. Look at it. It said it there. Emery. I'm not going to play the video, but if you listen to it, he picks Unai Emery. And I'll tell you why. Because Arteta's done a great job, but he hasn't got across the line. He's not done it at other managers. Emery's done it at other clubs like Valencia and Seville and now Villarreal. It's like, wow, okay. So basically, you're just telling us all to be patient. And one day, hopefully, we might be happy. No, it ain't about that, mate. It ain't about being happy. It's about winning. It's not about how he's changed the Emirates atmosphere. It's about being happy. So those are some of the reasons why I'm not a fan of what he's doing. I'm not a fan of how he's come out for me there. I'm not a fan of how he's decided to come for me, not really having any backup or debate or opinion of why. That for me was poor from Goldbridge. Some impatient prat. I'm impatient about coming second, but according to you, celebrating anything other than first place is celebrating nothing. Standards, but each to their own. That's so hypocritical, man. So hypocritical. I can't believe what I'm reading from some of his tweets. Some people have sent me stuff in. I've had to search for stuff. Let's be real. It's been quite a nice, enjoyable scenario, but it has at least made me understand a little bit that he's a bit all over the place and he does it for clicks and tweets. And that's part of the game. And I get that. I've done stuff for clicks and tweets. We all have with YouTubers, right? But he's literally all over the place. I don't know what his opinion is. I have no idea. Is he a big fan of Mikel? Is he not a big fan of Mikel? Is it about winning or is it about taking part? Is it about having standards or is it about seeing progress? All over the place. All over the place. Madness. Let's see what you guys are saying. Kyle, big up to you, bro. Legend. Great to meet you last night. Hi, Dan. I sent you a DM on Instagram, bro. Big up. Mate, I'll get back to that 100%. I get so many of them. I do apologize. If I do not reply to you, please let me know again. I will try. But thank you so much, bro. And big up to you. And thanks for the super chat. SG as well. Luis Enrique was available in the summer 2023. It's not just Luis Enrique that was available. We've had it now before Arteta. In 2014, when he won against Hull, I wanted us to go and get Pep or Klopp. Klopp went to Liverpool and Pep went and signed for Bayern Munich after leaving Barcelona. And we kept Wenger. In the summer of 2019, 2020, when Arteta was doing terrible after COVID, Tuchel was sunning it up in having a free job. And he went to go and win the Champions League with Chelsea. I would have taken Conte. I would have taken Carlo Ancelotti. The year that we got Arteta, when he went to Everton and Arteta went to Arsenal, I could not believe it. I'm like, surely that should be the other way around, right? So there's been other managers that we could have got since here. Crikey, Arnie Slot. Should have gone and got him, shouldn't we? Ali D says, do you think these football YouTubers are being paid to lick Arteta's behind? The amount of support he gets is unbelievable. I really don't know, but it does make me question why we have a manager that literally cannot be questioned. Even yesterday, it's the players. They didn't want it. They were looking at Wednesday. He's got injuries. What can he do? That was the ref. It was a handball. It never should have been a goal. Rah, 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 rah. How about we should have beaten them because actually we're better than them on paper? Anyone thought of that? Anybody thought of that? It's crazy. Call the Egypt by his real name. Brent. I'm not going to start getting personal with him. I'm just going to call out the stuff that he says. I don't know him. If I get personal, that's wrong because I don't know the guy, which is why I shouldn't have got personal with me because he doesn't know me. Knows of me, doesn't know me. Shawnee says, be careful. This is Terry's new bestie. Look, Terry and me are close. I know he's close. I go on with people that are close. I also work with people that ain't close to people. If people are cool with me, I'm cool with them. If people got a problem with me, I have a problem with them. That's literally all it is. I have one rule. Yeah. Don't be a word that starts with C and ends in T. That's my only rule in life. If you are, laters. That's literally it. Total Eclipse says, big up, Dan, bro. You're a logical, friendly, intelligent, and genuine guy, bro. Love that, man. Don't let these wastemans who do this for cute views and clicks tell us otherwise or get you triggered or upset, bro. A lot of people might think I'm doing this for clicks. And to be fair, some of it will get me clicks and views. But I think it needs speaking about. I think I need to call it out. Because when people do call me out personally, I'm going to react to it. Because people want me to. They want to hear my thoughts on it, right? But big up to you, Total Eclipse, absolute legend. I'm big up for the super chat, man. Suj, big up to you as always, my bro. Says United content must be quiet. United content must be quiet to come after a person like Dan. Thank you very much, mate. Might be called a big football content creator, but class can't be taught or learned. Look, he's huge. He's not a big football content creator. He's absolutely huge. He is the biggest football content creator. When you look at the size of his channel, when you look at what AFT TV is, and United Stand, all these massive, blown up YouTubes, they're huge. They're absolutely huge. So he won't look at me and care. I'm a little fish to him. Yeah? I'm a little fish in a huge pond. He will not care about me one bit doing this. He won't reply. He won't watch it. He's already admitted he doesn't watch content. And I've admitted I don't watch content all the time because we do it. So he won't even know about this. Someone will probably tweet it to him, laugh at it, and he'll just laugh. He won't care. That's what will happen. He will not care. SG, a wise man said, if you need to service your car, you don't ask a worker from McDonald's to service your car. You ask the mechanics. Big up to Carl Walsh. You know what? That was class. That analogy is unbelievable. Yeah, if I need to go and get a car, like my car serviced, I don't go down and ask someone from McDonald's. Absolute legend. Big up to Kyle, man. Big up to SG as well. Formidable Centurion says, Dan, your standards are welcome at Man City. Cheers. Do you know what, bro? I respect how your club hold your club here. And do you know what I also respect about Manchester City? Not only are they run the best, and people can go on 115. I've been one of those that says if they're found guilty, chuck the book at them. If they're found not guilty, they've done nothing wrong. And do you know what? I look at the scenario now and I think, wow, the Man City fans have had a shocking season. They could still finish second ahead of Arsenal. They could still win an FA Cup. And next season, into the summer, I know that for a fact they are well run enough to go and spend another 300 million. They're already linked with Morgan's Gibbs White today. They've got Florian Wirtz that's on their list. They'll probably want both of them. They'll probably want another winger. They'll definitely want another couple of midfielders and maybe a couple of fullbacks, maybe another centre-half. Goalkeeper, they're talking about Diego Costa is the one that I would pick in the world if I could right now. My God. Man City could be back, people. Man City could be back. Chris, so let's say we hire a top-tier manager, Enrique or Pep. What happens then if after 3 or 4 years, no trophy? Should he be sacked? Nobody has the right to win. This is a really good question, Chris, actually. And it's one that I don't think people speak about enough. What should happen if we hire Simone Inzaghi and after 3 years he wins nothing? Well, he should be sacked then. And we go and hire Diego Simeone. And if he doesn't win anything in 3 years or 2 years, you go and get Xabi Alonso. That's what happens. You go and get the right manager to win, which is what Man City did with Pep, which is what Chelsea did with Jose, which is what Chelsea did with Ancelotti, which is what Chelsea did with Conte, which is what Chelsea did with Tuchel. Sure, Liverpool done with Klopp. Yeah, Liverpool. Rafa couldn't win. Yeah, Roy Hodgson couldn't win. Brendan Rodgers couldn't win. Klopp wins. That's how football works, man. You don't keep sacking managers for 50 years because it's poor. The owners need to go then because they're selecting idiots to run your club. That's the way I see it, man. Adam says, Goldbridge has looked. Adam, big up to you. Kevin says, big up, Dan. Level-headed as always. Thank you, my bro. Appreciate that, man. And Vish says, as a neutral fan, he's brain dead, Dan. Look, I know that people have opinions of him. I know people are probably thinking that I want you all to now stick up for me and take sides. I don't want that. I just want to give my opinion on why I think it's crazy and why I believe that what he's saying is just hypocritical, crazy, and madness. Now, people might sit there and think that he's right and he's got a point, and that's absolutely fine if you do think that, by the way. If you think what Goldbridge is saying and that I should be patient and I should trust what's happening more and that we're so close and that we go and win this and I'm going to be put in the mud and all that, I hope I'm swimming in mud in May because we've won on the 31st the Champions League final. That's what I hope. Yeah, I really do hope that. I don't have the faith and the confidence that we'll get across the line, but we could. You roll the dice against PSG, you score first, you're back in it, it's anyone's, it's 50-50 again. You roll the dice, it's 50-50 against Barcelona or Inter Milan in the final if you get there. So, of course, we could go and win the Champions League. I've never said that we can't. I don't think we will, but we can. Of course we can. We're in it in the last 4. I think we've got a disadvantage now because the first legs are there. Barca Inter is a flip of a coin. PSG got the advantage. Going in home, 1-0 lead. I think it could be hard for us. I think it could be. But let's just say it how it is. If he does not win the Champions League, that is another season of failure. Right now in the league, okay, let's say he doesn't win the Champions League. Let's say we go out on Wednesday, right? I hope we don't. I hope we go through. But let's just imagine Arsenal are now out. You go, right, okay, Champions League, bloody good effort, semi-finals. What else did you do? We lost in the FA Cup against Man United. Right. What did you do in the Carabao Cup? We got spanked 4-0 by Newcastle across 2 legs. Right. That's not very good either. What about the league? Well, we finished 22 points off of the leaders. Yeah, but Man City are good. Oh, no, it weren't Man City that won. It was Liverpool. Oh, right. Bloody hell. How is that? Doing anything but accepting second best. In fact, third best, because I think Man City are going to come second now, by the way. Because we've got Newcastle and Liverpool next. We haven't beaten Liverpool at Anfield since 2012. We've lost 3 times to Newcastle already this season. And we've got Southampton away, which as long as we beat them, we'll be fine. In fact, I think we have to lose all 3. And then I think Man City and other teams around us, I think it's Man City, Newcastle, and maybe one of Forest or Villa, or Chelsea, of course, have to win all of their games. And I don't think that's possible. So I think it's very hard for us to drop out of this top 5. But if he was to do that somehow, oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Worrying times if that was to happen for Mikel Arteta. We finish outside that top 5 and he doesn't win the Champions League or a trophy. I don't know how he stays. Like, this is all set up the summer for us getting Champions League money, for us to go and buy our targets. If he doesn't get Champions League, come on, man. Come on. It's actually mad. It's actually mad. Look, I've never been a fan. If I'm honest. Let's just say it how it is. I'm not going to beat around the bush and try and be a fake here. I've never believed he can win us a major. That's all I'm going to say. Did I think he was going to get us into a title race when we become an 8th? No. And he proved a lot of us wrong, actually, that he can get us into a title race. But the end of the process is winning, not, hey, we come second. Because I was coming second out of Highbury in tears, mourning because we come second. I could hardly celebrate in 2003 when Perez scored against Southampton to win the FA Cup. Why? Well, I was happy we won the FA Cup, but I was still pissed that we'd lost through the league away. Because that's the way the standards were when I was growing up. If I was 16 years old, I wouldn't be like this, people. I never would have seen a Premier League title. I never would have seen doubles. I wouldn't have seen us go invincible. I'd never have seen us get to a Champions League final. I never would have seen us move into the Emirates from Highbury. I would have been sitting here going, what the hell is he moaning about? When I was growing up, we were coming 8th. We had Bentner up front and Shamak and Almunia in goal. Look at us now. This is unbelievable. But it's not successful. We've just improved. Yeah? That's what it is. So, I'm sorry. I can't get behind this. We've improved, so stop moaning. Like, do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Anyway, for those that are wondering what's going on that are just joining now, you'll have to wind back. It explains it all. So enjoy watching that. So there we go. Nothing much else to say other than Goldbridge has called me out for no reason and has not really backed up or explained very well why he's calling me out. So it had to be spoken about. And I think I've backed up as to why I think it's kind of crazy coming from a guy that's literally all over the place. I don't actually know what he wants. So that's where I'm at. Let's talk quickly on Arsenal and to wrap up how we might be getting on in this coming week. This has been a bad week for Arsenal, right? In fact, it's been a bad week for sport that I like because Ronnie got knocked out of the World Championships as well. And I love Ronnie O'Sullivan, my favourite sportsman by far. And he's a gooner. So, Arsenal have had a bad week. Can we have a great week? Can we have a great week? Yeah, we could. This weekend, we sit and chill, enjoy the bank holiday, and we get ready to go on Wednesday night because it is absolutely massive. By then, we'll know who's in the final, Barcelona or Inter Milan. That's going to be huge on Tuesday night. Wednesday's the big one. I'll be at Box Park at Wembley. I can't go to Paris. I haven't got tickets. Unfortunately, I couldn't get one. It's very, very difficult. So I think when there is definitely chances of going through, you have to start getting excited. But what comes with excitement is nerves. What comes with excitement is nerves. And I'm going to get nervous about this one. I'm going to be sitting there trying to relax. It'll be very difficult for me. It'll be lit at Box Park. The fans will do their job. The fans over in Paris will do their job. Let's hope that Arteta and the team can do theirs. I think the team picks itself. Raya in goal. Please be a goalkeeper and stay on your line. Stop playing as a centre-back. Stop running out and rushing out your goal. Right back, I pray it's Timber, because Ben White got cooked yesterday by Bournemouth wingers. How is he going to deal with Kvaratskhelia and Doué and Barcola? And if Dembele is out, it will be them. Ben White, I like him. Doesn't look 100% fit. For me, Timber has to play. Timber has to play. Lewis-Skelly will play at left back, and do you know what? Fair, because even yesterday he was still trying to make stuff happen. Centre-backs will be Saliba and Kivior. I don't think Saliba looks quite right. I'm still worried about him. Yesterday, there was times where he looked really good. Yesterday, there was times where I was like, oh, a bit slow. Kivior, I think, has been okay since he's come in. Thomas Partey, one of the better players of a bad bunch yesterday. He has to play. Declan Rice, back in the box-to-box role. Do you know what? He's kind of proved me wrong. Maybe he can play there. I don't like him as the attacking midfielder like Lampard or Gerrard or Fabregas is, but I think he can be box-to-box because he's got the athleticism and the engine. He was good in the first half yesterday, I thought. After that, terrible. Terrible. So, Erdegaard. Oh dear God, as they're saying. Spinning around, passing backwards and sideways. No creativity. No goals. But yesterday, 1 assist. Which I suppose is improvement. For the first 25 minutes, I thought maybe he'd turn up. And then he turned back into the old Odegaard that we have concerns about. He needs to have a good game against Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday. Needs to turn up in Paris. Needs to. When I looked at his marking for Evan Nilsson's goal, it was nothing short of Sunday League. One, he wasn't goal side of him. I mean, that's one of the first things you taught at Sunday League football, isn't it? Get goal side of him. I remember my boss screaming that when I was about 8. Get goal side. I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean? Now, of course, at 7 or 8, you're not the brightest. And he had to explain it to me. 7 or 8. Erdegaard's not even goal side of this guy, Evan Nilsson. Then he tries to mark him by doing that over his back. I mean, that's just embarrassing. And then he just gets brushed off the ball. And Raya, I mean, what was he doing? It was a shower of you know what. So Erdegaard's got to turn up. Front three for me, Saka, Martinelli, both poor yesterday, if I'm honest. Very quiet for them. Good couple of crosses from Martinelli. Good bits of skill from Saka, but nothing consistently good yesterday again in the final third. Both of them had a shot which they dragged wide. Should have done better with both, in my opinion. Probably shouldn't have scored both, but should have done better, at least hit the target. And then up top, it can't be Trossard. It absolutely has to be Marino. Parisian Londoner, I actually call him Parisian Gooner. Parisian Londoner Stu, he said, play Marino and we'll have trouble because by set pieces, we ain't great. That's what he's told me, PSG fan. By set pieces, our centre-half struggle. Could not believe you played 5'7" Trossard ahead of Marino. We were laughing. And they were because they kept a clean sheet. Play Marino, he brings in Martinelli and Saka, and let's go for it, people. Let's go for it. That's what we're going to have to do. So where I'm at right now is we win Wednesday, Champions League final. He's got to win it. We lose Wednesday, I want the manager removed. I know he's not going to be, by the way. That's another story for another day. But that's what I would do. Get to the final, win it, you stay, lose, you go. It really is that simple. It's black and white, people. Win me a trophy or leave. It's been 5 years. Don't wait that long. And those that think 5 years is not long, go and support Everton then. Go and support West Ham. Go and support Aston Villa. Go and support Fulham. Go and support Bournemouth, Wolves, Brentford. Go and support them because they wait years for trophies. Not a club like us. Not a club the size of ours. Not the club that spends what we do. Not a club that gets the income that we do and the revenue we do. Go and win me a trophy. It's simple. I would have taken a League Cup, but you threw it in the bin. I'd have taken an FA Cup, but you threw it in the bin. I wanted the Premier League title, but you ended up finishing nearly 20 points off of the winners. Go and win that Champions League. Go and win it. Go and win it. Got to be done. Big up to everyone in the house. Big up to everyone who super chatted. Big up to all of your comments. Thank you for keeping it respectful. This is not me screaming and ranting and raving at Mark Goldbridge. This is me coming and explaining why I think what he said about me yesterday was wrong. And hopefully I've done that. So make sure that you do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting the like button. We've got 560. Let's get that up to 1,000 likes, please, people. If you've liked the content, you've liked the video and understood what I've been talking about and think that I'm right, then please hit the like and the subscribe. Please make sure that you do that because, you know, it's important and it's really good for the video. So please make sure we do that. Shane Gooner is on live at the moment. I can't redirect to him because his settings aren't open. But please go and head over to Shane Gooner because he's talking right now. So make sure you do that. And yeah, we'll see you next time, people. We're out of here. Laters. Up the Arsenal.